Also known as a raspberry.
Stop. Shh. I don't know if it's going.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay. All right. Now, Doc, please explain please tell us the vocabulary word that you just said, and then go into what it is, please.
I don't see now. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah. Come on.
I want to know because I probably already know what it is. I just don't know the name of it. Like I'm not good with names, but I know stuff.
So
I've probably done it, whatever it is.
I don't know. Maybe you have. Now you know what a motorboat is, right?
Yeah.
It's when it sticks its head in between your boobs and goes. Right.
Yeah.
So so this is a scroter boat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Where you. Also known as a raspberry tea bag.
Oh, okay.
Raspberry tea bag.
That's another great band name. The second one tonight.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raspberry Tea Bag.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's what I learned by watching TikTok.
You learn a lot from TikTok, honestly. You really do.
It's true. Yes, I have learned a great deal.
So scrota boat.
Yeah.
Do it, ladies and gays and yays.
Raspberry tea bag.
Hooray! Oh.
So Mike and Matty, as the owners of Scrota, yeah. Is that something that would be pleasurable?
Doesn't
probably.
Seem
Oh, probably would be. What do you mean? Get down.
It might just feel weird. Would it just feel weird?
Probably, yeah.
I want to ask my husband.
Go.
Right,
take your phone.
You do the hard-hitting reporting. You ask him and then come back and report to us.
No, I got a better idea. This is what you do. You take your phone, you turn the background image off so we can see. And then you go do it. And
no,
when he tells you to stop we'll figure out the rate of pleasure he was getting.
Okay.
Big Daddy has finally joined us. I thought we were stuck in his pocket.
Devontae,
how'd you know you're in my pocket?
I have a question for you.
What?
Do you know what a scrota boat is?
Nope.
Okay, it's kind of if I'm on boat your dick, do you think you would like the way it feels?
Your testicles.
It's on your balls.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you for your time, sir.
He said yes.
Thank you for your time. Yeah. I flipped the camera so you guys could see its natural reaction too.
That was very good. I think you locked yourself into a promise, though.
That's okay.
Okay.
I mean, as part of the scientific process, one must fulfill such curiosities.
Right, because at the moment we're just dealing with his.
Right now, it's just theoretical enjoyment.
Big Daddy, have you experienced a scroter boat?
Not yet. That's been an additional fee that I haven't been able to come up with yet. So
working an extra shift on Friday, though.
Good. Work an extra shift and come up with that funding, and then I'll get back to you.
So it is something that you would like to experience.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like they would like it because, if you're already getting your dick sucked, they like getting their balls played with too.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's a thing that should be included.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a starter move.
No, it's definitely not.
You can't just go sneaking motherfuckers with a scroter boat.
Maybe
no, it's you gotta get the testes to relax a little bit. A lot of times they're tucked up. You got to get them to kind of unwind and hang a little bit.
Yeah, you can't just hi, how are you?
Yeah, it's like no, it doesn't. I mean, they're not titties, for Christ's sake. Can't just walk up and motorboat. Speaking of motorboat and titties, you know who I think motorboats titties? Matt Gaetz.
He probably does, and my guess
like unwelcomed.
Yeah,
is what I meant.
Like he's out there sneaking motherfuckers. All right, Matt Gaetz. He's a politician, and as you'll soon find out, he has some unpopular opinions that he's unleashing on his Republican supporters here in our C Block. Welcome to the C Block, by the way, on the Media Virus podcast. So I'm going to play this video that was passed along to me, and we'll see just what Gaetz had to say.
Oh my God, is that what he looks like?
No.
That's some other douche that made the fucking video.
Here's a despicable video of Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting. Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions?
Oh my God!
No! To impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
You look like a thumb.
These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, give me my abortions or I'll get up and march and protest. And I'm thinking, march? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe versus Wade. A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day, swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad.
This is not a fraternity party. This is a Republican congressman speaking at a political event. And also, to call these women fat and too ugly to be impregnated is the exact same reasoning that Donald Trump used in 2016 to say that he never sexually assaulted any of those 43 women who he was accused of assaulting because he said they were, quote, not his type. I am so fed up with this GOP misogyny, this GOP sexism, this GOP controlling of women's bodies, and now they are going even further and fat shaming people who are standing up for women's rights and protesting. This is despicable, it's disgraceful, and guys, what are we gonna do about it other than show up and vote? Nothing. We gotta show up and vote. That's the solution. Vote.
Okay, the guy with the messed up hair has so many points, but that shit was fucking hilarious.
So, does anybody else feel like that guy's just looking to
if you're
bang
a homeowner
fat
in
ugly
Delaware
girls?
and you're still paying?
That's
He's in the wrong business.
saying.
He should just do stand-up comedy. Like, he has no business being a politician, but that shit.
No, that was
fucking funny.
He's got timing.
Such a.
I will say, I chuckled. It looks like a thumb. That's
Yeah.
is that's a good line.
It's not his line. That line
But no.
that line came
Really?
from a comedian.
Dude, none of those,
Oh
none
my
of those
God.
jokes. None
sound
of those.
familiar.
None of those jokes were his. None.
Oh,
of
then
them.
he's a
no single one.
cornball.
But
I
his
take
delivery's
everything I
not
said
bad.
back.
Delivery's not bad.
Delivery's not
Like,
bad.
he
He's got
may
the timing.
He may think, because here's the thing: you might think you came up with something, but you fucking didn't. Nobody's had an original thought since the year 2000, and I'm firmly believing that, except for coming up with new fucking ways to enslave us into 1984.
I mean, this whole show is based on somebody else's idea of how to do a show.
Pretty much.
I promise.
It's the formula that worked for a very long time.
Yep.
That's anyway.
I think people are copying ideas off of like remaking movies, remaking TV shows, remaking everything now because we have technology at our hands where we get so bored easily where we're like, we have no new things we can do. Let's just remake this thing that everybody liked.
You know what this show, you know what I need? This is what you know what I need? I need a catchphrase. I think I'm going to go, hey now. What do you think?
It's been done.
Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now. No, that doesn't sound like you. Yours is shut the fuck up.
You would be like the third guy to do hey now.
So
Hey
I'm not
now, you're a rock
it's-
star. Get your game on.
I mean, like
Go
how
play.
I can't get my voice as deep as Howard Stern. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
And he didn't even originate hey now.
No, that's somebody else, right?
It was Jeffrey Tambor from the old Gary Shandling show.
I was thinking of
Jeffrey
that. I don't know.
Tambor was was Gary Shandling's announcement. It wasn't even Gary Shandling's show. It was the show that Gary Shandling did on HBO. What was that?
Which was the Gary Shandling show that had the theme song that went, "This is the theme for Gary's show, the opening theme for Gary's show."
That was the one on Fox.
Okay.
I loved that show. That show was actually extremely funny.
It was. Even as a kid, it was really, it was really funny.
But he also had a show on HBO where he played himself, and Jeffrey Tambor played his Ed McMahon announcer guy. And his name was Hank something. He was, "Hey now, Hank," because that was his catchphrase. "Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now."
So there actually hasn't been an original thought since 1986.
No, you said 2000.
I stand corrected.
That's a good one, Matty.
Nice. Yes, sir. Very good, sir. All right. Oh, we have Bill on film.
We have Bill on film. That's right. So to get ready for Bill on film, everybody dance.
All right.
Bill on film. Bill on film. Bill on film. Bill on film. Juliet, you were so good at that disinterested 80s. I'm dancing, just let me dance. So here we go with Bill on film. And apparently it's muted, so I need to fix that.
And share your screen.
I am going to grant Juliet temporary honorary membership into Gen X based on her dance.
Yay.
I second that motion.
And I assume she probably actually really did know what a phone book was. I was
duh. I used to have. Yes, I know what a fucking phone book is.
It was still funny though.
I know. I mean,
she sits on one at dinner every night.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, last night I went up to Devontae and I was like, Mike thinks he's so funny saying I don't know what a phone book is. Does he not know he used to sit on one?
So here's Bill on film.
1 and 3 were epic, and Cars 2 was like eh.
So Cars 1 and 2.
Cars 1 and 3.
And 3. Were epic.
Cars 2 sucked.
Cars 2.
That was the one where he was a spy.
Oh, in like Japan or some shit?
It makes no fucking sense.
Is that the one where Mater ate wasabi thing?
Yeah.
Ice cream?
The third one's really good though. The third one, did you see the third one?
Probably.
It's where he's like an old car and now they have the new race cars 10 years later and he can't win because all the new race cars are much better. He wrecks like Doc Hudson did, and then they gotta like train him like a Rocky montage to bring him back for the big race, and then he decides to pass the torch anyhow. It's great, really.
It's touching, man.
It's touching. Yeah. We filming?
Yeah, no. We had
so you got my whole review for the show.
For the Cars.
Cars franchise.
That's right.
Cars 1 and 3 were epic, and Cars 2.
So Bill reminds me of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
It's really big beard.
His brain's funny. I like him.
But his body language, when he's comfortable at that desk, he still has the discomfort of an 8-year-old talking to people. He turns his head and he touches his face. And
I can see that.
It's very endearing.
You should see conversations between me and Bill. I'll be sitting there at the computer and he will be fucking up something of mine. He will be taking something of mine and screwing it into something else, or taking something apart I don't want taken apart, Or one day he comes in, he found a price gun, and he just started pricing everything in my office is $9.99. He just started pricing shit, and it's like it says value plus $9.99. These big yellow stickers.
God.
So I took that from him, and I said, "You can't have this anymore." And I made it part of the set that we use. That set in the background, it's back there, and I told him not to touch it. So he'll stop pricing shit. I've almost got all the stickers, but I think he goes in there when I'm not there and just sticker shit up.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But that was Bill. He didn't like. So when I set up the camera's audio can be tricky. And I have that iRig, and I use an iRig, so I use my phone as the audio for shipmate videos. And what I do is I will put the phone, and I will set it up so that it's directly at the camera, so that I can see myself hit record. And when I see myself hit record, that way when I go into the video, I take that video, I split it right fucking there, and then I add, the cutaway of the video.
Mm-hmm.
Then I export that. Then I run it over a green screen. Then I export that. Then I chop it up into like, so Bill makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I make little slides and little animations and shit for those videos. So that was just the audio portion that we saw there.
Right. But I like this setup for the Bill on film. It's kind of half cocked and it's looking into your camera. I just dig it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And through tragedy, I was trying to like focus on something. That's the next video. So I was working on it, and I was like, oh yeah, this I wanted to fucking harass Bill about. I completely had forgotten. So that was a last minute entry into today's show.
It works. We like it.
I think it's a fitting little end. I think we had a good time.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything interesting they want to bring up? Juliet, you mentioned that you had suffered. Is that something you want to talk about, or is that something? Is there information you feel like needs to get out to the public? I probably should have. This is your soapbox too. This is like, everybody knows that, right? You know how to submit stories and come up with, if you have something you want to talk about, you let us know, and we'll go, all right.
I didn't want to take away from what happened to you.
Well, I mean, it's a big world. We all deal with tragedy. Sometimes it happens at the same time.
So Monday, a friend of mine, another one, committed suicide. So that happened.
Yeah, that is tough.
I was thinking when we were doing the space talk, when we were talking about universes, and I had this weird thought, like, maybe it was an epiphany, but like, so in my natal chart, I have an 8th house stellium. 8th house is Scorpio ruled, which has a lot to do with death. And I was thinking about all the people that I've lost in my life, and there's this pattern of suicide. And I'm like, why? That's something I kind of want to look into, because it's like, why is it that a lot of people that I'm close with off themselves? And I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
Juliet, how old are you?
31.
31. Most adult suicides occur towards the end of the 20, like 27, 28, 28, like in that range.
Yeah.
So it's sadly not that uncommon. I think people hit that point in their life and they feel like they should have accomplished more, or they don't know what's coming next, or
or they get divorced and their ex-wife takes everything that they fucking loved in this entire world,
or that. But yeah, I mean, it's a very real phenomenon. So you may just be, I hate to say it, but like you may just be at an age where, a lot of your friends are kind of struggling with the transition from young adulthood into like adulthood.
Adulthood and then the transition, the next highest rate of suicide is middle-aged men between 45 and 60.
Yeah.
But if without giving too much personal information, if you don't mind me asking, was this a man or a woman that decided to?
He was a he. He was a man. Okay. We lived on the same street for a long time. And we also ended up working at the same place too. So where I used to bartend and waitress at, I got to know him better there. And he was one of the first people that like, he was just very nice and comforting and grounding. And he was real. And he didn't try and stand out or anything. He just had that, like, just people have certain energies about them and they just feel like really, like he was a solid, grounded person.
And easy to talk to, easy to be around.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Was there any like history of mental illness?
Not that I know of, but
you weren't that. I mean, it was more of an like an acquaintance, like a work acquaintance.
Well, we kind of. I don't want to say he's older than me. He's like 8 years older than me, so I don't be like we grew up together. But he lived across the street from me for like. He was
an older kid, and he was a neighborhood fixture. He was part of your childhood. I get it. I'm sorry to hear that. It's a terrible tragedy when someone chooses to, give up, basically. I've seen it more times than I'd like to, talk about.
Doesn't the suicide hotline now get its own new number?
I believe it's 988.
I believe that's correct.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So what used to happen was there was like a bunch of actual hotlines, and then you'd call and you would talk to someone for a while, and they would kind of counsel you and stuff like that. But those numbers were kind of difficult to remember and hard to come by, and they were so to make one universally known, easy to remember 988. I think is a great idea and a great resource for those that are having a difficult time understanding that they're loved and appreciated. So if you're within the sound of our voices, just understand that there are people in this world that love you and care about you and want you to be with us, and especially for men who are statistically far less inclined to seek help. Got to reach out and fucking talk to someone. So 988, use it.
I always wondered though.
Yeah, as of July 22nd, 988 is the suicide and crisis lifeline.
Yes, and
so that has been confirmed. I wanted to make sure that we were giving out accurate information while we were talking.
That is excellent news. That's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're in that position, you're not like, oh, let me call this number to talk me out of this. I'm feeling pretty suicidal right now. Like, it's not what you're gonna do. I mean, it's great to have it, but let's be real. Most people are not gonna do that if they're feeling like they want to end it. They're not gonna call somebody to reach out, and they know people care about them. They know people love them. Like, we know this.
You can also text 988.
So that might be easier, but still, you're not gonna reach out.
Yeah,
well,
but here's the thing.
Some people do though.
Right. So, but before they hit their low point, some people do.
Now, is it an immediate response to like the crisis workers like come out and try to prevent it, or are they just
What
trying to
happens?
talk them down?
What happens when I text 988? When someone texts 988, they are responded to by a group of Lifeline crisis centers that answer both chats and texts. The service will expand over the next few years to increase the local and state level responses. Once you are connected, a crisis counselor listens to you, works to understand how your problem is affecting you, provides support, and shares resources that may be helpful. Currently, texting is available in English only. You can call, and when you call 988, callers first hear a greeting message while their call is routed to the local Lifeline Network Crisis Center based on your area code when you call in. A trained crisis counselor answers the phone, listens to the caller, understands how their problem is affecting them, provides support, and shares resources if needed. If the local crisis center is unable to take the caller will be automatically routed to a national backup crisis center. The Lifeline provides live crisis center phone services in English and Spanish and uses language line solutions to provide translation services in over 250 additional languages for the people who call 988.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that too, because so as a teacher, I often have to call home to households where English may not be the first language, and there are services, and they're wonderful, and they just translate. Like you call up this number, you give them the number you want to call, and they translate for you. So I'm glad to hear that this service has access to translators as well.
Yeah.
This has been a phenomenal taping. I think we've done some really important work. I was completely unaware that 988 is the suicide crisis hotline. Even though that's
too. I had no idea.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
It is new. It is new information. July 22nd wasn't that long ago, and
just this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so
perfect fucking timing.
In fact, that's why we had to go to 10-digit dialing in the state of Delaware, because 988 used to be an exchange in Sussex County, and to make this function properly, they had to get rid of all of the 988 exchanges nationwide.
All right. Well, that's worth it.
I want to point out and I want to acknowledge probably the darkest joke to ever be told on the Media Virus podcast. As we are telling people about the suicide hotline, Juliet said, "Perfect fucking timing." And that was genuinely funny. Dark humor here on the Media Virus podcast. That's how we deal with things. So
we make ourselves feel better when you feel worse. That's right. Laugh at how awful we are.
And I would say it's 10:30. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Media Virus podcast. Mike, do you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Big Daddy, the Doc, Juliet, our Scorpion Goddess, I am Professor Mike Latoris here with Matty Rockdeff. I'm coming to you live here in Uncle Butch Studios. This has been the Media Virus podcast. We are here each Wednesday night from about 8:30-ish, if all the streaming goes right, till about now. And you can check us out here next Wednesday night. We'll be back. In the meantime, you can listen to us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when the 3 blocks that we tape each Wednesday night get posted on Spotify or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back again next week.
Thought we were taking a break.